Yo, I am the Sandman, and you're listening to Jobber Radio Podcast. Solutions for life, motherfuckers.
It's Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. Oh, wrestling podcast featuring Matt Callihan, Bomber, Rap, Scott, and Lee, and the one and only Peanut. It's Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. Bitches.
Maybe that's why you get so many bugs.
Oh, okay. I scared it under the stove. No, I'm not the goddamn biggest R-Tree fan.
I support his no pineapple on pizza.
Tomato sauce is good. The tomato itself, no.
You're out of your mind.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Jobber Radio. We are creeping up on that episode 100. We are almost there. I actually forgot what actual episode this is, but we are creeping up on 100. We're not quite there yet. I am Jake, a.k.a. Bomber, and we got a couple people here today. One of them, a surprise run-in, Peanut. Peanut is here. How are you doing? How are you doing? And how do you feel being on the Bomber, Scott, and Lee show? How do you feel?
As the original host, I feel great to be here, as I am all the time, about once every 3 months. So, and I know I've been getting the DMs on the Twitter and the Instagram and the Facebook and the Xanga saying, Peanut, when are you coming back to the show?
What the fuck is Xanga?
That's like the old
Is that real?
blog. Yeah, that was like that was pre-MySpace to kind of date my age here.
I thought MySpace started it.
Mm-mm. This was like a blog thing where you could have a profile picture and you just did like blogs. And it was kind of social media, but it wasn't. It was the start of it all.
Okay.
So that's where we're at. There's your history lesson.
Perfect. Well, there you go. You definitely taught me something.
For our millennials fan base, I feel I represent them, and I'm their person, their point person. So.
There you go. All right. Well, welcome to the show. Scott. Scott is here. Scott, how are you doing on, our show?
Well, our show's pretty good. I'm glad to have Peanut back on our show. It's fun. It's good. Yeah.
Well, good. I hope you're doing good over there in Canada. I don't know where. I don't know the actual.
Yes, you do.
No, I swear to God, I know you're in Thunder Bay. I remember hearing that, but I don't know what
East Coast
district.
Very north.
I don't know what district that is. Is it a district or a province?
It's a province, not a province. That's a city in Rhode Island.
Oh, so it's not a province; it's a province.
Province.
He's 8 hours north of Montreal.
And that's the equivalent of a state, pretty much, right? In the north.
It is, yeah. Though, to be more accurate, I'm actually about 16 hours north and west of Toronto.
Okay, northwest of Toronto.
If you go straight south from where I'm at, you're going to get to Duluth.
Oh.
Nothing. That means
nothing. Ontario's fucking big.
Whenever I go to Atlanta, I stay in a little city outside of Atlanta called Duluth. So I don't know if that means
that's
anything.
Duluth, Georgia. I'm talking about in.
Well, I know it's not the same thing. Yes, okay. Anyway,
but it is also called Duluth. Correct. Yes.
Anyway, Scott, thank you for being here tonight. And
no problem. Glad to lighten you on the Canadian aspects of it, and go from there.
And we also have Lee. Lee, where are you on the map compared to Toronto?
5 hours south.
Parts unknown.
Parts unknown.
Glad to have Peanut back on our show. It's great. Just like losers like Sami Callihan fucking leave town, winners come back to town like Peanut, and that's the situation we're in right now.
To be fair, I think you're the first person ever to call Peanut a winner. So how about that? How about that? On the show, not in real life. Everybody knows you're a winner in real life, Peanut. Everybody.
Well, he's a valued friend, so what am I going to do?
There you go. Yes, and speaking of Rab actually was supposed to be on the episode tonight, but as Peanut said, he ghosted us. So
I think he got deported.
That's a term the millennials would know.
A millennial term, yeah. So Rab's not here. Zion, we'll just say he's not here at the moment either. So let's get into it. We got a lot of stuff that we can, bring up and talk about. A lot of, again, kind of like a couple episodes ago, a lot of like little small stories, little small things to bring up and, discuss. Because this weekend is also, in case you didn't know, which I don't think you did, Peanut, Stomping Grounds.
I didn't even know that was the name of the pay-per-view.
God damn it. Welcome to the Java Radio Wrestling Podcast.
It's a dumb name with a dumb logo.
Oh, there's the bug.
Uh-oh.
No, I
Side
see
note,
it.
before we went live, Bomber found a bug that dipped behind a filing cabinet or something, and he's been on the lookout.
Well, it's like a showcase, like a glass case where I put my my treasured.
He described it as a tiny thing the size of your pinky.
No, it's about the size of your palm.
Notably known as a fly.
No, it's. I'm looking at it. It's on the floor in my kitchen right now. It's to my right, like I don't know, maybe 10 feet away.
Throw something at it.
Oh man, should I?
Do you have a dog?
Yeah, Zuko. Here, hold on. I'm gonna throw. I'm sitting here at my computer desk and I have a canister of crushed red pepper. I'm gonna throw at it.
Okay.
That's a unique thing to have at your
Isn't
desk.
it? And you said it was like a glass display cabinet.
Well, it came out.
And you're gonna throw a can at it?
No. It came out from behind it. Now it's like in the kitchen on the floor.
Okay.
Here we go.
So do you usually just have like food laying around your house? Maybe that's why you get so many bugs.
He's American.
This is the hey. There you go. This is the first bug I've actually seen in our new apartment here. So
That you've seen.
and it's huge.
They're everywhere.
All right, here we go. Oh, okay.
You didn't get it.
I scared it under the stove.
Now you angered it.
Okay. Anyway, and you know what's funny? The little canister went under my refrigerator. So, okay. So now I don't have crushed red pepper. Okay. So guys, let's talk about first of all. Well, you mentioned earlier. If you heard earlier, they would be listening to our Patreon. Those would be our Patreon people. And I know, Lee, you said you wanted to say something about Patreon in this episode. So what you got, man?
Yeah, if you are not part of the Patreon, which you should be, all you valued friends out there, we do have a Patreon page at www.patreon.com/jobberradio, all one word, and you can join various tiers. For instance, for $2, you can get an ACL tear. That's the reward, right? There's a $2, $5, $10, and $20 tiers. They all have different things. Jobber Radio, where we sell you the whole seat, but you're only going to need the edge of it.
There it is. Mark it down. One day we'll get T-shirts. That's going on there. But hey, that's also
where's my check? Where's my royalty check?
Where's your check? Well, once we actually start getting money, then maybe things will happen. But
yeah, they got lost in the mail. The U.S. mail system. You could have got lost.
Yeah,
you do get bonus content though, guys. Like you get to hear us bullshit before the show.
Where we talk trash about the other members and they don't know it because they're not Patreon subscribers.
That's right.
Like you would be.
You can get for $20 a month. You can pick the topic for our next Best in the Business episode, and everyone loves those episodes. That's why we never do them.
That they are fun, but yeah, they take a little while to get going. I'll say that. Yes, and you know what? Just a little side note. I will be bringing up some Patreon details on our What Do You Talk episode, which is our Prediction League podcast that we do on the YouTube channel, exclusively on YouTube right now. So
with our friend Woody from the JRPL.
Yep. So if you guys listen to this and listen to that, you'll want to tune in on our next episode, which we should be recording relatively soon. I got some insider details on some some stuff. We'll just say that. I'll just tease you with some stuff. We got some stuff to talk about. But that's our Patreon out of the way. Let's get down to some business here. What do you guys think after the past couple, it's been 3 weeks since our last podcast. It was my birthday, by the way. That's why we didn't do it last week. Sorry. What do you guys think has been the biggest topic in the past couple weeks? Scott, do you have anything that you think is what jumps out into your mind? I have a list of things here, but what's biggest to you? Like what's biggest to you? You think right now going on?
Nothing huge has jumped out. I mean, I could rattle off a lot of little things, but there's not been one, oh my god, kind of moment that I'm aware of. Aside from, actually, as I think about it, the UK wrestler Lionheart died yesterday or the day before. He was the reigning Insane Championship Wrestling heavyweight champion, won it back in December. Apparently really liked, well loved, and from the sound of it, from tweets from friends of his, he was tweeting people one day, including Nick Aldis and some others, and then put out a tweet about how, life is this and this and this, and apparently took his own life. Because mental illness can be in its own way, people were saying, so yeah. So that happened.
Yeah, that's sad. And I may
That's
be
a sad note, though.
Yeah, I may be wrong, but I think that may be the company that Kevin Owens really got to start in. I may be wrong on that. I know
Drew McIntyre, Grado, those guys. It's the one that Triple H made appearances with. Finn Balor. Those guys.
Okay, I'm an idiot. That's
ICW.
I know what you're thinking though, Bomber, but
yeah.
IWA, I think is what I'm. IW something.
That's what you're thinking. Yeah, no, this is ICW in Scotland. Yeah, it's
yeah.
Drew McIntyre even said people think of me as the main one, but he's the heart and soul of it. So it's this is a crazy, huge, ridiculous thing.
Yeah, I'm getting my Canadian and Scottish mixed up is what it was. It's common.
Classic.
It's common.
Yeah,
Classic.
you're American.
It's understandable.
Yeah. Aside from that, there's little things here and there with noises from people being upset over things, and it's.
Speaking of that, getting upset over things, Lee.
That was my seeding a segue for you.
Yeah, perfect segue there. Lee, so apparently word on the street is you're not so big on Sami Callihan at the moment.
Oh no, I don't hate Sami Callihan or anything like that, but I do find it amusing that so he had a loser leave town match with Mance Warner in MLW this past week. And everyone knows that he famously does not get along with Jim Cornette in real life. There's legit heat backstage between the two. And Jim Cornette's doing the commentary for MLW these days. So they had a loser leave town match, and apparently Court Bauer, the head of MLW, has made some pretty candid tweets that they were intending to do sort of like a Midnight Rider angle where he'd come back in a mask and conceal his identity. He'd eventually come back and restart the feud or whatever. But that got scrapped because in their Falls Count Anywhere match, Loser Leaves Town, apparently Callihan took it upon himself to do upwards of a few $1,000s of damage in the arena that they were putting the show on in the building, arena, whatever it is. And it's kind of tenuous as to whether they'll be invited back to run shows there. So basically cost MLW a lot of money. Callihan was like a backstage agent at MLW at that point, and now it seems like that all just sort of flushed that all down the toilet, just because of his personal grudge. Who knows why he really did it, but maybe his personal grudge with Cornette or whatever. I think I don't know if this was planned or not, but when he came out at the start of the match, he immediately chugged a few sips from his water bottle and just went over and spit all over Cornette, who was on the commentary table.
That was good. That was a great moment.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, Cornette jumped up and threatened to hit him with his racket and shit like that. It was pretty cool. Match was pretty decent. Nothing blow away, but it was pretty good. And the whole angle was good, but then you hear the follow to this, and now, of course, there's all kinds of people like, oh, MLW's just made the worst mistake of their lives. They've lost Sami Callihan, like the biggest indie draw or whatever, and I don't know if that's quite the case. But, yeah, I just found it amusing that, Callihan in general, I'd say he's one of the top heels in the wrestling business, just as far as, he takes it seriously. He's always playing the heel. Mm-hmm. But when you step over into unprofessionalism like that, it's like, man, you're just kind of shooting yourself in the foot. I don't know what the fucking problem is there. More to come, I guess, as details leak out. But I just thought it was an interesting little event that happened this past week.
So call me crazy. I heard, everybody, I saw the stuff on Twitter. You got to go watch this match. So I went and watched it and stuff. Now, call me crazy here, but I think it's a work.
Could be.
Like,
Could be.
I was going to say that. I know nothing of this, but my thought was, well, what if that's all part of the plan? Like, work the work.
Here's the thing. I saw, like, what Court Bauer tweeted out, and he was talking about how, Sami Callihan caused, $1,000 damage, like the bleachers and this and that and kind of stuff. So I went back and I watched the match. I watched the entire match. It's on YouTube. I don't know if, you guys want to see it, but the show's on YouTube, and I watched it from start to finish. I saw really nowhere where there was anywhere where thousands of dollars of damage was actually done.
That's the thing, right? Like, I was watching the match and I'm like, no, they just kind of did like a standard brawl through the crowd.
Yeah.
They hit their like set up merch tables and stuff. They did spots on those.
Sure.
They didn't do any spots where they there was a suplex on the actual bleachers or whatever.
That was the worst I saw.
But I don't think they broke the bleachers or anything like that. So it's like, because if they'd done that, fucking Mance Warner wouldn't be fucking walking right now. Like, So I don't. It feels like a work is what it is. Like,
so if damage like that was done, because say something happened structurally and something did get damaged, it wouldn't have been intentional from the sound of it, right? Like it's.
But it's still well.
It's a huge grasp for that to have actually happened, and et cetera.
Yeah, I mean,
but it doesn't sound like Sami Callihan went out there and like, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna do stuff that's reckless and damage things. From the description, so if they broke something by accident, well, you know what? How the fuck could they have known?
Yeah, that's
from
the thing.
Sound.
I mean,
kill that.
If he intentionally like damaged stuff, I mean, and just sort of fucked his chances with MLW going forward, feels like just a really unprofessional, dumb move. And
true.
I mean, and that's sort of what the story is right now. But it seems like what you guys are saying. It seems like it kind of feels like a work, because there was nothing in that brawl. Like, the only stuff that got damaged that you could visibly see got damaged in that whole brawl was like the spots where they had like the boards preset under the ring or whatever to pull out and smash and shit like that. But other than that, no. Like they hit each other with chairs and stuff a couple times, but it's not like they bent the chairs or anything.
It sounds to me like this is the new way to work a work. It's a work, or we say it is, and it actually is.
And look at it this
level
way.
Of it. And knowing Sami Callihan, I can see it.
Yeah, that is one thing too. If we're gonna do it, and make it believable, right now, I think Sami's one of the better people to do that with. But, shit. See, that's what happens. Goddamn bug, you fucking bug.
Okay, you deal with the bug. We'll keep going.
No, I don't.
It was a great moment though.
I got thrown off.
He comes out on the stage and he spits on Cornette. Cornette jumps out of his seat with his racket and threatens to hit him. Callihan goes down to start the match with Warner, and Cornette immediately gets fired up on the commentary, and it's some of the best commentary I've heard out of him from MLW. He's like, that piece of shit, I'm going to pay fucking Mance Warner $5,000 if he fucking beats him tonight, So great. It was a lot of great stuff there, and it's like, I'm just kind of thinking, it's definitely got to be a work, but it's like a work within a work almost kind of thing, right?
And it's... Go ahead, Bummer. Sorry.
Okay, I was going to say, and this is, to me, the epitome of this is when wrestling is done right. You don't know, if it's real. That's why people, I love, the dick flips and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, yes, that stuff is, it could be funny, for stuff. But when you think that Sami and Cornette, I assume they do have heat, but even if they don't, and you think they do, him on commentary was so much better. It was believable. It feels, wrestling is just so much better when you believe the shit is going on. And there's so many people. There are people right now that are probably hearing me say this that are like, that's dumb. No, kayfabe's dead. Shut up. You have no idea what I'm talking about. But it's like, no, it's really true. I don't understand.
Here's the thing too. Like, Cornette's pretty vocal on the stuff he doesn't like in wrestling, and he's not a big fan of some of the stuff Callihan does. He's not a big fan of some of the stuff Jimmy Havoc does. Joey Ryan, we won't even fucking go there. But I think Cornette respects Callihan enough. Like, he has said things in the past, like, I think he's a really good heel. Like, at least he's playing a real heel, and he's not, he's not doing tweets with him taking pictures with his opponent the day before the match and shit like that, right? So it feels like they sort of planted the seeds early, because Cornette on commentary, whenever there was a Callihan match or a Jimmy Havoc match, he'd just start talking about how he hates this fucking garbage wrestling bullshit, and that sort of plants the seed in your head, and then it comes to this culmination where Cornette just, snaps on him, and I feel like Cornette's the kind of guy that, at the very least, he probably respects Callihan to some degree, and I mean, if he's willing to be in the same promotion with him, he's willing to do business. And if this is, just a big elaborate work, then they just worked a bunch of people, because there's all these Callihan supporters right now going, fuck Cornette, fuck MLW, you guys just made the biggest mistake of your lives, and all that shit. And
to me, it's interesting, because you had Cornette going on Twitter saying, like, with the whole baseball bat thing with Callihan and Edwards, oh, he's untrained, it just is blah, blah, blah. But if they're smart, we'll never know the real story behind what they said, and they'll make some money on it. If he's willing to think that way with Callihan, well, you know what? They might have real animosity. They're in the same place. Fuck, make some money on it. And that seems like what both of them would do, even if they hate each other. Like, yeah, like you said, Cornette doesn't like Ryan and stuff like that, sure. But, I mean, come on. The money's free to be made. And Cornette, he did say things like, I remember what he said, like Tommy Dreamer should have just beat up Orange Cassidy in the AEW Battle Royal, like just no sell it and just like take liberties. Well, he can say things like that, but then when it really comes down to it, no, if you do stuff and you actually, punk a guy out for real, you are exposing the business. Don't do that. Make money. Do this instead. Work the work with the shoot with a work. So I think, like, literally, if Cornette was that upset, he wouldn't have stopped after one swing. He would have kept going and tried to hit him with the racket.
Yeah,
that's true.
He didn't, though. He took one swing and that was it. I was like, well, no, he shouldn't have stopped there.
No,
I mean he's there to help MLW. Like he doesn't need this fucking job. He's doing this because he likes the product and he wants to help.
You could say that Callihan doesn't need MLW either.
Yeah,
sure.
Like he truly doesn't. But
the thing
that's
is,
part of the thing.
It was a loser leaves MLW match, so. Yeah. Obviously, the plans were for Callihan to, step away, at least for a while. I know they said, he was going to come back and stuff, and who knows, how much of that is true or not. But either way, he was, like, leaving, so this could be a good way to, take him off for a extended period of time, or maybe make it more of a surprise when he does come back, if he does come back,
Even if this is all 100% legit, and they did damage and blah, 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 blah,
sure.
They already know that bringing him back will be money.
Oh yeah, the bigger.
That's how wrestling works. It's actually going to be better to bring him back now.
See, if this is a work, if this is a work, the only thing I don't like about it is Court Bauer saying that they were planning to bring him back under a mask.
Yeah,
that's the only thing he shouldn't have said.
Yeah, I can agree with that. He should have probably said, like, there was, like, maybe the door was open in the future, but, if he does want to come back and stuff, but he broke all this stuff, now there's no chance at all for him to come back. Like, yeah, I can see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, and even if that's true, you can still make some money later by bringing him back.
True, yeah.
Like, I don't care about any, like, there's always a way to be like, oh my god, we never thought he'd be back. If anybody can go back to anywhere, that applies here too.
If it is a work, you were right. They are definitely, people are going in on MLW. I've seen tweets from, like, wrestlers out there, like, shitting on MLW, like, trying to bring up, like, like, inside, like, contract stuff and how MLW, like, fucks people over and stuff like that. Like, other wrestlers, and I'm like, damn, I don't know if this is real or not, but they're definitely getting some people, because people are exposing stuff that I feel like they probably shouldn't be.
I'm gonna wait on, like, someone legitimate like David Bixenspan or somebody to come out and say MLW's fucking people on contracts before I believe any of those fucking stories.
Yeah, who knows? But either way, it's definitely riling up a lot of people over on the Twitter. So so for those of you that do not know who the hell Sami Callihan and those guys are, don't worry, we'll be talking some WWE here in a little bit. So. Peanut, are you still with us? I'm sorry if we threw you off the side of the bus there.
I just didn't know anything, and my opinion would be super ignorant.
That's okay. You know who Sami Callihan is, though?
Of course. He hit the guy with the baseball bat in the TNAs. And
There it
then,
is.
Wasn't
He's
he
not
called
wrong.
He was on CZW.
Wasn't he called like Damian Crow or something in NXT? Or something?
Solomon.
Crow.
He was on NXT.
No, we got Punishment Martinez is Damian Priest now. So
Yeah, they got a
I
couple
was going to
different
jump in
people.
about how Cornette's always working, and I don't know if he knows when he's not working, so it's always a work. But then you
Yep.
guys kind of jump past it. So
no, but that was kind of going with what I was saying. It's he might say all these things, but he'll believe himself, and it'll work. So.
To me, I heard I listened to, I don't know if you guys do, I have a feeling Lee doesn't, but I listened to 83 Weeks, the Eric Bischoff podcast.
No.
But
I read some
not a
recaps here and
chance
there.
Lee
but-
will listen to that.
I have been going through and listening to that show almost nonstop lately, and man, there is so much great stuff on that podcast that Eric Bischoff says, which is exactly kind of what Scott just said right there. God, guys, something's wrong with me. What did you just say, Scott? I can't think straight right now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What did you just say? I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It was about how he's always on, and he believes himself so much that he just keeps going, and it becomes almost real for him.
That's fucking
Yes.
Bischoff.
Thank you. No, here I was lost for a second, but now
Who
I'm
in
found.
wrestling was I describing?
I was lost, but now I'm found. No, he talks about how the best people in like wrestling. The reason Ric Flair was so fucking good is because Ric Flair
lived the gimmick.
He
it.
got into when he went out
He
there and
was
cut a
Ric
promo.
Flair, the character.
Exactly. When he cut a promo, like his brain really believed, like he actually trained his brain to actually believe that shit. That's why he was so fucking good. That's why a lot of the people now they're just acting and stuff, and it's just when you have somebody like that, like, and I would say Sammy does a good job. He's not, I don't think he's quite, I'm living the gimmick type deal, but he you can tell that he's trained himself to really believe the shit that he's saying.
He's that rare
I think
breed that does
it
work
shows
the
the
character
difference
well.
of being handed the script and writing your own script. Because
Right.
when you're writing your
That's
own
true.
script, you're constantly in that mindset where the line gets blurred, I think. And when you're just showing up on a Monday night and handing
It's
garbage.
so
And
there's a silly
DM
thing that we heard with Moxley talking about that, where it's like read this verbatim kind of thing. It's like that's not how I would say
Scott
it.
caught my drift.
Yeah. And I recently did a video shoot with something, and it's like, look, this is the line, but however makes sense for you and the character will be better. So what do you think? And then we go back and forth, and we find a way to deliver the intent of the line through the person who knows the character. So just imagine that here. Like Moxley goes out there, I wouldn't say these words, but I would say these. No, you have to say this. This is the way to make it work. No, that's not going to work for him.
Yeah.
It might work for someone else. A different character might work that, but that's literally that. That's like 101 type stuff with performance and
Yeah. But I mean, either way, I mean, you can tell the people that give a shit and they care and they are buying, they believe in their character enough to where they're fucking real or
R-Truth?
real enough. Exactly. By the way, guys, yes.
I'll give you that.
No, R-Truth, everybody's wondered, oh my God, are you just the biggest R-Truth fan? No, I'm not the goddamn biggest R-Truth fan. I just was defending him against Zion when Zion was saying he was a piece of shit and didn't matter. I'm just saying that he is entertaining. He's still good, and I am
When
so
was
happy.
this? Was this like recently with the 24/7 thing, or was this like an
Yes.
old Zion thing?
Well, that
the
too.
Zion comment was a little while back. No, I don't know. It was probably before WrestleMania sometime. But no, now
Because like, how do you not
when he
like
was US
R-Truth
champ for
when
2
he's
weeks.
Referring,
thank you. Boom. It's when he like.
but how do you not like R-Truth when he's referring to the 24/7 championship as the European Intercontinental?
Exactly.
Oh, it's
hardcore-
the 47-8
Yes.
European TV title. Yeah.
All over Twitter, all I'm seeing is people talking about how R-Truth is like the best thing going in WWE right now. If it wasn't Bray Wyatt, that's
Yeah.
what I always say. I'm always seeing Bray Wyatt's the
Yeah.
best thing going, and R-Truth.
What
is
I
the
want to
best
say
thing
about
going.
R-Truth is that he gets that title. Like, I mean, obviously he's reading a script or whatever, but like when he's handed the script, like he gets it. Or like I think a lot of people when they announced the title and they got weird about it, like they didn't get it. But I think R-Truth got it and he's made it work.
I mean,
like,
And Drake has it now with some fun stuff. So
but he also, I think, gets
He gets it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You know, like a Bobby Roode if he was the first ever. Well, I forget who the first ever.
he was the
24/7
second actually. Titus was the first.
Yeah, Titus.
but he couldn't run with that. You know, like R-Truth's gimmick. You know,
No,
is
he's
something
just
that works with
entertaining.
that.
So,
He's just
what
really
gets me
entertaining.
my comment on that, people say like R-Truth is the best thing going and Bray Wyatt is the best thing going
Yeah.
on WWE. It's like, okay, so the best things are the 3-minute segments that are not really wrestling.
I was going to say, with the talent and roster they have, who would have ever thought in 2019 we would say the best thing going on television is R-Truth on WWE.com and Bray Wyatt on the YouTube.
And yet I don't think they're the best thing going. I still enjoy the matches and the overall generalness of things.
That's the only thing I can follow.
Are those high points? Sure, but they're not the highest. It's like I don't watch it for 3 minutes of Firefly Funhouse or R-Truth stuff. It's if that. Why are you going through 3 hours for 6 minutes? If that's what you're doing, you really should do a Zion and stop watching. Honestly,
I will ask this. Peanut, have you seen all of the Firefly, or at least some of the Firefly segments?
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen all of them. I know I've watched them out of order, but I've seen most, and they're all great.
Okay.
But,
So
I don't know what they're actually doing on TV.
Here's the thing.
I don't know if it's actually translated on to TV, but from just like via the YouTube, it's great. It actually makes me want to like watch it.
I think the last one went a bit long in the whole weird stuff that was happening. It's like we get the point, and that's a typical WWE thing I've had issues with.
I was gonna say, anytime it does switch over to the weird, I'm like, it shouldn't be weird for more than this. Like
the one that had like the Muscle Man dance where there's the brief open your mind and back to normal. Like do shit like that. That's cool, but don't have like a minute of open your mind. It's weird. No, do it a little bit. Well, what the problem is, this is all leading up to Bray Wyatt having matches.
Yeah,
and nobody is going to be interested in that, and that's like the payoff will not be worth this, and people will be like, "Oh, he should go back to this." Well, no, there's no reason for this, unless it's going to be a thing. So,
is there rumors about who he's going to like? What's the first feud?
God, there's been rumors about Bray Wyatt being with Rowan and Bryan and Harper involved for like 6-7 months.
Yeah,
no one knows. Nobody knows shit.
Yeah, nobody knows anything right now.
Which is good. That's fun. Then.
I love it because to me it gives me that old school feel of like, you know, the old vignettes that we used to love and remember, like all the Mr. Perfect vignettes that, you know, it was outside the ring and it was just all just hyping people up and it just so good.
This hypes Bray Wyatt up for you.
Yes. Okay. I was getting there.
No, that's it. It doesn't hype him up. I enjoy what he's doing, but it proves he's better at this than the wrestling.
I think
this is supposed to sell me on the wrestling, and we're not. It's not going good. It's
time.
But like you're right. I see. I'm sorry, Bob.
No,
I see where Scott said, like, this doesn't make me think like, oh my god, who can Bray Wyatt feud with? It's just like good content.
It's good content, but I don't. What's the point?
Okay, I'm kind of getting confused by what you're saying. Are you saying that Bray Wyatt is like not an entertaining wrestler, or are you saying that like his character's like ruined? Like which?
No, not ruined, and not that he's entertaining. I actually really like Bray Wyatt stuff with Daniel Bryan was really good, and he's actually really, really cool when they let him cut loose and go.
Yeah.
They haven't, and I don't think they will. I'm being oddly pessimistic about this because we've been burned on cool Bray Wyatt a bunch of times.
Sure.
I think it's
so this is literally... Like, well, what was it? We talked about it with the Moxley thing. If he does all this crazy stuff and this Mox video is just a video to have him come back into WWE, yeah, he's just going to have matches with the same guys he has matches with before. It's nothing different. It's not different. So with this, Bray Wyatt's back. Yeah, and here he goes. There's Bryan and Rollins and Roman, and we're doing it again. There's nothing different. I'm open. Like, I want to be proven wrong, but I'm not getting any reason to believe that. And especially when the best part about it is the vignette.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Peanut?
I was gonna say, like, this is kind of common WWE where it's like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, Vince is the problem, but because that's the classic saying, but like the online stuff and the content they do like off of the Monday nights and they get the film is always better until they try to bring it into the WWE producing on the actual show, like in ring stuff. And I'm trying to think of an example.
With the Broken Woken stuff. Those videos were fun. And then in Arena, it landed like a big fart. It didn't work live.
So I'm like not trying to do the classic like it's Vince's fault, but I think it's just once it gets into the system on a weekly basis, that's when it's like it gets lost and just too much, too much content. No,
So-
the focus is taken away.
And
So
that
the individual aspect of it is lost. You know, it feels too produced and too corporate. I
Yeah,
guess.
overproduced is that's a good way to put it.
Now, I also hate the blame Vince thing. People always think, "Oh, Vince
That's what I'm
must have
trying to
this."
avoid. Yeah,
Anything bad is Vince's fault. Anything good is Triple H's fault. No, no.
it's
Like
the system.
the Matt Riddle thing when Riddle was shitting on Goldberg and Undertaker. People were like, "Oh, Vince probably made him slow down and stop." Or he's like, "You know what? I was harsh." Or his wife said it, or a friend, or someone else. It's not Vince made him do it. Not everything is Vince. Yeah, sure, a lot is Vince, but not every single minute to minute thing. Like people throwing, "Oh, Vince hates this. It must be that." You don't know that. I hate when people do that. I know I'm singling a lot of our Discord
fine.
chat people, but guys, stop blaming Vince for
fine.
all of the things.
So before we get
Please.
past it, I was waiting to get to the point.
I know you were. I'm sorry.
No, but Lee, I have to ask you because I would say the Bray Wyatt response has been almost like 80%, 85% positive. It's been overwhelmingly positive, but I see you are definitely not on that side. What are your thoughts going on with the Bray Wyatt stuff?
I think all the positivity speaks to just how bereft of anything good going on in the company.
Thank you.
I mean, it's been so incredibly stale and honestly trending down for me for so long now. It's just like something like Bray Wyatt, which I think it's hot garbage. I don't like any of it. I think it all sucks, and he sucks as a wrestler. And I just think personally, if it was me running the company, I'd just hit the eject button on him, as I would a lot of guys actually at this point. But I don't care. Like it just leaves me cold. I've seen a couple of vignettes. Everyone's raving about it, and I'm like, this sucks. This really sucks. And like, again, who's he going to feud? It's still going to be Bray Wyatt wrestling in the fucking ring. It's going to suck. And as for like R-Truth 24/7, everyone loves that. I think that really sucks. I think that's hot garbage. And so none of it interests me.
So you are saying that you don't think Bray Wyatt is an actual good wrestler in the ring performer?
No, he's had too many chances. Even with happen to be restricted by sort of the WWE style or whatever, he's still never really shown anything to me that makes me think he's
Okay.
that he's
He was
anything
never
above
great.
mid card.
He was always a gimmick.
See,
He was
well,
never like a worker.
I mean, we all have our opinion and stuff. I thought he was actually a pretty good a wrestler. I just thought that he just always got like fucked over and always lost and always, as good as momentum he had, like in the ring, I thought Bray was fine. I never really, and I know Zion's response is always name me a good match right now. Like I can't.
Yeah, give me a 5-star match.
Yeah, I can't do that.
But I get it.
I
like
never remember being bad in the ring.
his mannerisms. He'll be like kind of like a loose kind of type, like going out there and I don't know. There was always something I liked about it, something a bit different. But he was his own worst enemy out of the gate because he kept getting injured, and then he kept losing.
To me,
it just.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think.
Both times.
I mean, I should reiterate. I don't think he's a terrible wrestler or anything, but for me, he just sort of screams like fucking WCW Hugh Morris. Like same idea for me. Like it's just he's mid card for life as far as
Some people love Hugh Morris, by the way. Just want to point that out there.
Yeah, well, those people are dumb.
Nice. Okay. What happened? There goes the valued friends. Jesus, down the drain. Yeah. So what else do we got to talk about here today, boys? We got some. Okay. So I went over to Discord and I asked, what would you guys like to hear us talk about today? There was several responses, all the way from fucking talk about pineapple on pizza. Kane. Oh my god. Pineapple on pizza, which by the way is the most controversial topic ever in the history of the world. So we're not.
Well, let's stop here.
not
Let's stop
touching
here
that.
before we go on because you've tickled the interest of the viewers.
No,
we're gonna
no.
go around the table.
Scott,
what is your opinion on pineapple
Never.
pizza?
Never. No,
Okay.
it
I
does
did
not
not.
belong.
Oh no.
And it is the
Not.
same. It's not even a flavor thing. It's the texture. It shouldn't be soggy stuff on a pizza. Same as tomato. Doesn't belong.
I like that point a lot, Lee.
Yep.
I support his no pineapple on pizza stance, but I can't support his no tomato on pizza stance.
See, tomato sauce is good, but tomato itself, no.
You're out of your mind.
Peanut,
Well,
what are you doing?
bomber.
Outsiders explode.
Oh my god! Yeah, and that was when the line was drawn right there.
The real truth.
Yeah, no bomber, no. God, it's peanut. No, I actually love pineapple on my pizza. When I cook my homemade pizza, I put two things on it: bacon and pineapple.
And that's why you have.
Wow,
bugs.
you go out of your way for your homemade pizza. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, if
Okay.
I'll get it on a normal pizza that I order too, but
I'll say I would never order it, but it doesn't offend me. If someone was like, "There's only pineapple, there's only pizza with pineapples on it," I'd eat it, but I would never go out of my way to
See,
order it.
And the big thing with me is if someone says they like it, I'm not like, you're wrong. Unlike
Yeah.
a lot of others will.
yeah, no,
You know, what really pissed me off. I fucking bought this, this like pre-cooked pizza at the local store, and they were just selling pizza slices, and it was sort of wrapped up in cellophane, and I was just like super hungry. Usually I'd want to get like something fresh, right, or whatever, but I was just like, I need something to snack on, so I just bought this piece of pizza for $1. I get it home, it says deluxe on the fucking label. I unwrap it, put it in the microwave. I don't really look at it, right? Deluxe. What do you think's on a deluxe pizza? It's like green
All
peppers.
sorts of shit.
Yeah, but
I was
not
gonna say onion
fucking
peppers. Yep.
not fucking pineapple. It's gone too far. The intrusion into our culture. We need camps for pineapple people.
Pineapple camps, yeah. So let's turn this to a wrestling. I can do that. So just because you like one thing doesn't mean you have to hate something else. And that is a big opinion and attitude thing people seem to have. It's like, oh, you're wrong for not liking this. No, that just means that you like it and they don't. That's fucking let people like things they like. Jesus Christ.
Now, another one of the topics, as I was saying, that people brought up.
I tried, Bomber. I tried
Oh,
real
you're
hard on
fine.
that.
No, Peanut did his best to try to
Peanut does what he does.
wreck
Peanut,
the ship.
Peanut did Peanut.
I was
Yeah.
keeping us mainstream, guys. Come
Yeah,
on.
it's mainstream, right? It is the most hot button issue in the world. So I mean, I understand.
It's a little break of the content.
Some people that's going to be their
Let
favorite
them
part of the
digest.
episode.
It
Yeah,
will
let
be.
them-
It already is, no matter
Isn't
what
our most
else we do.
favorite content we ever pushed out was when we debated like chicken wings?
That was
Probably
good.
it.
Actually, funny enough, I looked this up the other day to see what is our our number one episode ever, most downloads, most views, all that stuff. It's still to this day, it hasn't changed since it came out. The election episode, the presidential one. We didn't talk a single fucking thing about wrestling. Not one single thing. It is still our most downloaded, our most watched episode we've
I
done.
wasn't even on that.
You weren't.
Darn
It was me.
Oh, don't worry. 2020, we'll do it again.
Yeah, it was me, Rab, Zion, and Lee or Scott. Were you guys there? I don't remember if you guys
I
were there.
don't remember.
I was about to say, I don't think you guys would be because it was about president stuff. But
Oh, no, we'll fucking be on there. We got opinions.
yeah, but I kid you not, that is our most viewed, listened to episode. Is one we didn't even talk about wrestling.
Crazy.
So I don't
So
know.
what other topics you got there, Bomber?
I was going to say, I don't know if that's good or
You
bad.
can bring
but-
up stuff like, arrows start falling on his head.
I wanted to bring up, well, kind of, sort of injuries.
The Discord thing.
Yeah.
Lars has been
Hey!
apparently injured. He's out for, I think it was 7 to 8 months apparently.
6
Good.
to 9 is what I was
6
reading.
to 9. Hey, that's right in there.
Knee injury, yeah.
So my question is, I don't know if you've been following along, Peanut, enough, but was Lars doing good? Was he on the upward trend before he got injured? Do you think this is, obviously it always sucks if somebody gets injured, no matter who it is, even Nia Jax, even though a lot of people shit on Nia Jax. It always sucks. But do you think this is really going to derail him completely? Do you think this is, a minor setback? Or do you think he's, just going to come back stronger than ever? And how is he currently doing? Scott,
He's a Snitsky. No, I was gonna say he's a Snitsky to me. Where he's not ever gonna be the guy. He's never gonna sell the merchandise. He's never gonna hold the world title and make it better. He might have flashes of it where they decide they want to push someone who's quote unquote believable. But to me, I would never be invested, and I don't really care that he's not there. It sucks that he's injured because, like you said, you don't want anyone to be injured, but he's not. I just think he's a Snitsky. That's the best way.
Have you happened to see the stuff that he's been doing lately with mainly the Lucha House Party and stuff? Kind of.
I saw like a clip and I was just like, eh.
Okay. Scott, have you been paying attention to what he's done on his debut?
Yeah. I mean, if he didn't get derailed much because of the whole anxiety thing, where he was able to come back and still be a monster, this won't hurt him. It's not like he went down like Big Cass did in the ring, hurt to Enzo. Like, he went down legit and got beat in the ring. And is like, oh, that doesn't look good. No, Lars is kind of like, oh, he's just not here now. And he kind of went out strong, quote unquote, in that way. Also, his whole thing is he shows up randomly. So that's going to be fine for when he shows back up randomly. It's kind of his MO. Yeah. So, he'll be fine. He'll just beat up some more big guys. I do need to quote the funny thing I saw on Twitter. Someone said about how Lucha House Party has defeated racism.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That's terrible. I mean, good, good but terrible. Good but terrible. Lee, what are your? You have any thoughts on Lars?
He sucks, but I mean, this will probably give time for that whole him being a racist douchebag thing to blow over enough in the fans' minds. Where if he comes back, hopefully he won't be beating up Latinos again.
Very weird choice. Very weird choice at what they went with there.
It's not as weird as you think.
Weird, but are you surprised?
Yeah, that's not weird.
But are you surprised?
That's not weird for the WWE.
Right?
They run with shit like that. This will piss them off, pal.
They do often do stuff where it flies in the face of things. It's like, oh my god, he doesn't like him. They're in a match together.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens. Why? Why are you doing? Okay, whatever.
That's true.
I don't care. He can be on Bray's fucking Funhouse, and that way I'll never have to see him again.
Oh god, terrible, terrible.
But no, I don't hate Lars. He was fun in NXT and like the ladder match for the NA title and stuff like that. So he has his place, sure. But he's like a next level Snitsky, because Snitsky never even really achieved like a singles title. I could easily see Lars being a destructive IC or US champ like Joe is right now. I can see Joe going to the world title. I can't really see Lars doing it aside from like a hot minute here and there.
Speaking of Snitsky, I watched like some guy on YouTube made like almost a documentary style, like showcasing Snitsky's like career, as short as it was, and talked about like how everything went down. Snitsky basically was a fucking fluke. Like, it seemed like they didn't plan on doing anything with Snitsky. He just happened to, cause a miscarriage, and they were like, you know what? Let's bring him in. Let's do more stuff with this guy. But it seemed like he was supposed to be a one and done type deal. It wasn't supposed to be a real.
I don't know how much of that I believe, because he literally came off as rando jobber and did a thing where he hit Kane. And I always felt like that was part of the plan to introduce this guy as just some random jobber. And if someone did this quote unquote documentary about it and they bought into that, well, fuck, you're a mark. I'm pretty sure that was the plan all along, and he said as much that was the plan. So.
What were you saying?
I thought he was around before the Kane thing, but maybe I'm just mistaken.
No, I think the Kane match was his debut.
Yeah, his debut is when he hit Kane in the back with the chair, and he fell on top of Lita and gave her a miscarriage.
And it was so shocking because who the hell is this guy to do that?
Exactly, like random. Nobody knew.
Yeah, but I thought that was like that's the plan. That's how you do that.
Yeah. And then he came out kicking babies.
He said so.
So yeah, punting babies into the crowd, fake babies. That is not real babies. For those of you that don't.
I have I made the only ever Snitsky music video, tribute video that's probably ever on YouTube.
Oh my god,
that's a fun fact.
You gotta link that shit.
Yeah, seriously, we need to get some links on that. I actually I made a music video that involved that whole angle with Snitsky and Kane and stuff, and it also involved the Hardys and stuff, but it wasn't about Snitsky. So
well, there's your problem.
I wasn't that ambitious to go.
No, it wasn't a tribute video.
Oh,
but yeah, no, I mean Lars being out for so long, that's like Rumble is his comeback, so he's probably not going to be back until that.
That would be a fun return. I think. I mean, Lee kind of brought up a decent point where this could be. I think it could be a good thing for him. Let it's not always going to blow over. Some people are always going to remember because wrestling fans remember everything. But I think some of the people will. The racist stuff will die down, and this was a long time ago. He says that he's he went through a bunch of stuff. He says he's not like that anymore. I mean, a lot of people feel certain ways on whether or not people change or not. But I mean, who knows? Maybe he did change, and maybe he'll try to recover from it. So I mean, who knows? We'll see.
That's for a different podcast, though.
Yeah. Maybe he'll come back and
we're not qualified to cover that.
And maybe he'll also change and come back a good wrestler.
Okay, well, I mean, you know.
We are qualified to cover that, though. So.
Yeah, some people actually said that they did like his NXT stuff. They thought he was a good wrestler. I didn't see too much. I mean, he seemed to
I
be
thought he fell under the NXT hype, but his actual stuff in NXT, if you look at it, it's not great.
I watched a decent amount of his matches, and he seemed to play the monster type character relatively well, but I don't know. Other than that, yeah, I see why everybody does compare him to Snitsky. It's very, very good comparison there. I guess this is almost a bigger, issue to talk about. Was apparently there's just a lot of stuff randomly happening with fans, like touching people, getting involved, spitting, and doing all just kinds of. At all different shows. We're talking shows in Mexico. There was, I think, Scarlett got grabbed. What's up?
Yes, Scarlett Bordeaux got grabbed on the show on Saturday, I think it was, or Sunday. Literally standing up, and some fan just literally groped her and was hands all over her. She didn't even notice. She was in the moment, and someone who was with her kind of pulled her away. Yeah. What was it? There's that whole story about Bully Ray apparently intimidating a fan in the back at a Ring of Honor show, and that went back and forth with how they're like, that got blown out of proportion. He was being an ass. He was insulting the women, back and forth. And yet, still, when it comes down to it, they still took him in the back. They still talked to him. So I was like, that's not cool. Some fan was kicked out of Impact for being loud behind the announcers, and there's just a lot of shit going on right now.
Is that the same one that spit on Taya?
I think that was. No, that was a different one. It might have been a different one.
Okay.
But I guess that's to your point. There's a lot of that happening.
Wait, time out. You said a fan got kicked out for being loud?
Like behind the announcers, like drunk and disorderly.
Yeah, well, you should be kicked out for that. I mean,
like he was disruptive.
Okay, I mean, I guess I don't know
not
the
to
details.
the wrestlers, but to the show.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it depends what went down, but yeah. I was about to say, I will never think somebody should get kicked out just for being loud, but...
No, but it was literally like derogatory... Not even that. It's more just disruptive toward the show and the announcers to the point where they couldn't do their job. It's like, guy, no, fuck up.
Yeah.
And they talked to him multiple times, like, guy, please stop.
So what are your guys? This seems to be, popping up a lot recently. I mean, do you think? Here's my question to you guys. So here you can think about your answers, I guess. Do you think this is for some reason fans just going crazy recently, or do you think that this could possibly just be we're moving into a culture where this stuff was it happened before? Basically, but now people are now having more issues with it. Not necessarily like the Scarlet grabbing and groping thing. That was a little more intense.
It's the case of the 2019s. That's what you're trying to say.
I'm asking you guys. Is what I'm asking.
All I will say is the wrestlers want their cake and eat it too. This kind of thing. Like, I want to be so vile that I'll incite the crowd. Oh, but don't get mad. Don't insult me. It's such a weird. Like, Bully Ray used to be proud of his riot inciting stuff. Mm-hmm. And yet, don't be insulting to the women. Well, but no, they're bitchy heels or whatever they're doing. That's the kind of comments you're going to get. Like, that's not nice. Yeah, no shit, you're the bad guy. They boo you.
Yeah,
they boo you. They say things. I
think you can also
my mind.
The quote unquote delusional fan as well. Like, you can know when someone's having fun, and then you could sense where someone's like, "All right, this guy's giving me
like this."
He's not weird, but he's had some drinks, and I can take my heat real quick and then get away from this situation. I think you need to be.
There is a gone too far. There absolutely is, and really, what the wrestler should be doing is like, I got him that good, and just continue on doing your job and not focus on him. Don't make him be the show. Keep being the professional and get in the ring.
Correct.
Problem is that there's not a lot of real heat anymore. Most of it's just people trying to be part of the show, fans trying to be part of the show where they think they're entitled to be part of the fucking show when they are not. And they cross the line a little too far, a little too often. I'm all for real heat. I'm all for fans getting legit riled up and pissed off as long as they don't touch the talent. Because if they touch the talent, then as far as I'm concerned, the talent can touch them back with their fists. But as soon as that happens, security should be in there and grabbing them and taking them away. The shit that fucking Bully Ray did, taking that kid into the back because he yelled at his girlfriend a little bit. Just basically insulted his girlfriend, who was inciting heel heat from the crowd.
Yep.
That's fucking bullshit. And
That's just Bully Ray being a hypocrite.
and Bully Ray is a fucking hypocrite. And
I love it. Bully Ray did a bullying act. Gee,
yeah.
who would have thought?
Like, you don't do that. Like, if Bully Ray wants to have the fan ejected, call security, take him away, fine. But the shit that he pulled is unprofessional bullshit, and it was unwarranted. And it looks bad, too, because, I mean, that sort of stuff could get up to some fucking guy in Sinclair boardroom somewhere, like, hey, one of our producers on this this property that we own, went and intimidated a fan backstage, like pulled a fan backstage and intimidated him. And I mean,
they don't get the business.
Even if it was 100% legit, he shouldn't have done that.
No, he should have had security take care of him. That should have been it.
It's not his job.
Or
it's not his place.
He should have walked up and smacked the fuck out of the guy.
Or that too, yeah.
If he wanted
but
to.
I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, it's not like this guy put his hands on whatever the fuck her name is.
Velvet Sky?
Velvet Sky. Velvet
I don't know
Sky
if,
was
I don't know
out
if she
there.
goes by that anymore, but yeah, that is her.
But she was out there calling, like, this guy was, saying fuck you, and she called him a virgin, and then he apparently said, well, you're fucking that fat ass Bully Ray, and that's sort of what apparently got back to Bully Ray, and Bully Ray was like, pluck that guy out of the audience, take him backstage. It's like, what are you gonna do? Beat him up backstage? Like, for fuck's sakes.
That's literally what Velvet Sky's done for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her
Or
character.
10 years. It was 2007 knockouts, but
yeah,
that's her fucking gimmick for the past 10 years.
I'm about to say something. Now, I don't want anybody to think this, to take this as me being sexist is all, because I'm not sexist, okay? I like the Spice Girls back in the day, all right? I just want to say that right off.
That's like saying you have a black friend and you're not racist. What the fuck are you doing? Just say it.
Now? Is that
just
what that
say it. Don't try to quantify.
I'm just saying, okay.
You made it worse.
When you lead with it, yes, it makes it sound like you're trying to cover something up there.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going, but I want to hear this.
I have no issues at all with fans screaming anything they want. If fans want to, and this is the funny part. Like, I see a lot of people nowadays more. Well, no, that's still not right. But I think if somebody wants to yell at Velvet Sky, for example, if they want to, yell at her and call her a slut and stuff and say all that kind of stuff, here's the problem. Everybody instantly goes, that's sexist. They shouldn't be saying that to a woman and blah, blah, blah. Well, when this is just my opinion here, mine and only. So when Velvet Sky gets into the ring and the way she gets in the ring where she bends over and she's just literally shaking her ass to the camera gets a shot of it. That is like what she's doing. So why is it not, I'm asking, why is it not okay for somebody to say something sexual towards a woman if she's portraying this, I'm sexy, I'm hot, look at my tits, look at my, like, if she's doing that in the ring. Now, if it's somebody that's not doing that, for example, a wrestler right now that a lot of people love, Jordan
Grace.
Jordan Grace, thank you.
Oh, don't call her chunky though. Or like Austin Aries with Taya, you're on a different side there, and yeah.
Well, I was gonna say like.
But you're right.
Yeah, I'm just basically saying, like, that's not really what she does. She goes out there and she's a badass. She beats shit out of people. If people, like, I just don't understand. If that is the character they're portraying, if she's out there shaking her ass and doing this stuff, why do people get so mad when they bring that up? Or, like, I just don't. It goes towards a lot of people, not just women. That's just the example that most people get mad at right now, is you can't say bad things to the women wrestlers, especially like when they're heels, like Taya Valkyrie with her whole don't talk shit and everything. I did a video.
Well, the fans spit on her too, right?
Yes, I was.
So be it. I mean, it's shitty, but
Well, I wasn't really happy about the fan spit on it. And I think he should have got ejected either way. But
yeah, it's going to happen.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's gross, but I mean, goddamn, you should have tried wrestling 30 years ago.
Exactly. She fucking destroyed that dude.
Get drinks thrown at you and stuff. Like you know what? You got a fan to spit on you.
Yeah,
you're a good
drinks if you're
good
lucky.
Job.
Try wrestling in like Mexico or Puerto Rico where you're a heel.
Yeah.
If you're not getting attacked flat out by a knife, you're getting like urine thrown on you.
Oh God, you saw that clip of Stan Hansen coming into the crowd, right?
Oh,
Where
yeah.
he's swinging that bull rope around at the crowd as
Just
he
whipping
enters
people.
the ring.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's blind. He's legally blind.
Yeah, he's just doing it. Bomber, to partly answer your question and also try to see the double side of it.
Sure.
To quote someone who many people like, filthy, dirty, disgusting, bottom-feeding trash bag hoe. Chris Jericho made it cool to say shit like that to Stephanie McMahon, who wasn't even portraying that character.
Yes.
And yet that's part of the show. And now we've got those guys. Oh, that's the cool thing to say to be a heel. Now, I have no problem. You spit on Taya. Taya is good at it, and she got that. But then she's like, oh, don't do that. That's not nice. Did you just break kayfabe because a guy spit on you? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be like, oh, yeah, that's all you can touch me with? Like, that's... Turn it around. Do something with it.
I think this, excuse me, I think this only exists in wrestling, by the way, for those of the people that are out there. Oh my God, Bomber thinks that just because somebody is dressed up and, they're revealing themselves more, that people should be able to call themselves. I'm not saying that. Fuck no. This is only in the wrestling world is this a thing. I'm not saying in real life is this a thing.
But not even that. You were saying that's the character she's portraying too.
That too. Like, Velvet Sky.
Like Gail Kim never portrayed that, but wore skimpy outfits.
Sure,
but she wasn't portraying the character.
And Trish Stratus, she was a great wrestler, but her main
TNA.
Exactly. Let's cut the fucking
Test
shit.
and Albert. It was called TNA.
Yeah, her main focus were on her tits. Let's be honest here, okay? We're being honest here. Now, I mean, I'm just saying, I think that people are being way too goddamn crazy and sensitive on the thing. I mean, that we can always say that we sound old and whatnot by saying that, but. I've seen so much of it by people saying, and wrestlers too, is when I start to get confused. When wrestlers like, oh, they can't, people need to shut up. Fans can't say that. Goddamn, I think fans, and personally, my opinion, can say whatever the fuck they want. But
what I find funny is you get some wrestling fans on Twitter who say, yeah, you shouldn't be able to say that stuff. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that. And they're usually the same people who bitch and complain and say there should be a wrestling for everybody. Like everything everybody likes, it's all there. It's a multi thing, and it's like, some people like wrestling with real fucking heat,
like real wrestling. Yeah.
That's and
good,
I mean, God forbid, fucking heels get real fucking heat in a fucking sport where it's their job to draw fucking heat, so they draw a bigger house next time. Like, what the fuck business do you think this is? This isn't WWE where they've got guaranteed money. This is a smaller company where they actually rely on fucking selling tickets to crowds.
And the ultimate irony of that is you think back to Bully Ray, back as Bubba Ray Dudley in the ECW arena with the damn near riots he's inciting. That's literally him doing his job, getting it, and people want to see him get beat. And if they win, they want to see him do it the next time. And that's... literally it to a T. No one
Bully Ray knows that. He's a fucking hypocrite. It's because his pussy got insulted. That's why.
Oh my God. But
now the flip on that, they said it's only the women. Like, if they were saying it to Seth Rollins, is like, oh, you're just a man whore doing this. Is that okay? No, it's not. But you know what? If that's the character he's portraying, fuck you. That's what he's doing. That's
wrestling.
Done.
If they wanted to come out there, if he came up to the front row, like if he was walking out and some dude yelled at him, yo, I saw your fucking cock or something, because I mean, people seen his penis and made fun of him. I mean, it's wrestling, dude. I don't care what anybody says.
The characters brush them off. Alexa Bliss does like, whatever, you're nothing to me.
That's what you do.
All you got to do. You walk.
That's the thing. You're a professional wrestler. You're bigger than the fucking plebs out in the audience. So act bigger than them.
Yeah. Yeah, but then again, I have seen so much stuff on the Twitter specific Twitter, where people are saying like that are like the way what we are saying and stuff is just like archaic almost.
Well, it's the wrestlers, even Dustin Rhodes. Like, does it be a fan? Yeah, I'm a fan, and they're literally inciting me, and I'm invested in it to the point where I want to say something about how I hope they get their ass beat. Because they're a skank or a dick or what, but be a fan. Yeah, no, I am. You got me. That's it. You're the bad guy in this. I'm not going to cheer you because you're the bad guy, you dipshit.
Yeah.
I mean, just our opinion. Everybody's
everybody's
got theirs. Doesn't mean it's wrong.
Lee had a great comment in the Discord a while back about safe spaces and how that would be a great thing for a heel to come out with.
Yes, it would be. I think it would be great. Like, you should have a heel who actually plays that character. Like, you know, they need a safe space between them and the audience, so they'll come out with like security or whatever, and they'll move the barricades back or something like
Didn't
that.
Michael Cole do that?
I think maybe he did do something like
in
that.
a way, he had his coal mine thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it needs to be a wrestler, and it needs to be a wrestler who always does promo saying, "You need to respect me and my abilities and my background and stuff like that." Really, make it political.
Yeah.
And go at it, incite them, get in their face, but you can't. No, get that. You're in my personal space. Yeah, I need my safe space.
Yeah, and then eventually the fucking heel eats shit, which is the way it's supposed to be.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, the weird thing with this about how, like, with Velvet and Taya and all that, it's like, yeah, okay, it's the women who are getting it. It's not cool. I get that.
Well,
but the whole idea here is you're wanting me to feel sympathy for them, but they're the bad guys.
I mean, kind of.
What? No. No, but their characters are the bad guys.
Oh, no. Yes, yeah, I know what you're saying. But, I mean, also at that AAA event where Scarlett got grabbed, there was a...
That was fucked up. That guy was going to steal him a Scarlett Bordeaux. That's
Sure.
what that was happening.
Yeah, there was a male wrestler. I saw another little spot where there was a male wrestler in another match where he was in the crowd and he was about to jump up onto the guardrail, and some woman runs up and slaps him on the ass. Just straight runs up and just slaps him right on the ass and ran away.
Be a fan. Don't do that.
And no, I mean,
no one said shit.
it's
But
hilarious.
there is a double standard there too. It
Absolutely.
really is.
It's, I don't know. I just think wrestling involves, just my opinion, that it's a different world. It shouldn't follow the normal like boundaries of touching. No touching loud. I don't know if I
think of it this way: you're watching a movie, you're yelling at the screen. They don't react because they can't hear you. You're at the wrestling show, you're yelling at the wrestlers. They can hear you. They can react.
I think a fun example would be when Ellsworth was technically the winner of the first women's Money in the Bank. People were pissed off about that.
Yeah,
it was like, of course he was supposed to be. It's wrestling.
I thought that was great, and yes,
yeah. How dare he win it? Yeah, good, we got you.
There was a huge backlash.
It's not real.
That made like headlines on websites and stuff. News sites were like, "Man, win."
That's exactly what should have happened in that situation.
Yeah.
So it just kind of goes back to, like you were saying, wrestling is a different world. It doesn't have to follow the 2019 standard of political correctness. And it should be the opposite of that.
And you saw what happened. They fucking redid the match and made sure that they...
If your character is to go out there to be an insulting sex pot and you get upset when someone comments on that...
Yeah, to me that's...
when you've done it for 10 years, no less?
That's
like,
as
come on.
hypocritical as fucking Bully Ray's shit, where he takes a fan in the back for saying something about his girlfriend. But
key there, girlfriend. If it was anyone else, he would not care.
Oh, probably.
Like, if Daniel Bryan's out there as a heel right now, and if someone says, "Oh, you're going to be crippled in 5 years," you think he'd be like, "Hey, that's not cool." He probably thinks that, but he'd be a professional, be like, "Shut up! I can do this longer than you can," and then keep going. That's what it is. Own it. Be
good example. Good example. All right, so we're going long. We need to wrap this up here, but I did want to talk about a little bit about Stomping Grounds this weekend. We're not going to go down the full card here. We're just going to talk about what are some things that you are excited for on this show, if you are excited for anything. I guess, Scott, we can start with you first, since Peanut, I don't know if you even know who's fighting, since you didn't even
I couldn't what the name was. One match. I couldn't. Let me take a guess. Seth Rollins versus dramatic pause.
You'll never get this. Not if you haven't been watching.
Oh, he might.
Darn it, I got nothing.
No, Baron Corbin.
Oh my God.
Yeah, for the second time. And it's going to have a special referee that we don't know yet.
Yeah, it's a special referee match. Yeah, we don't know who it's going to be.
Stone Cold. It'll be Stone Cold.
No, it's probably going to be Lesnar or something. They'll do some goofy shit like that.
It'll probably be Lesnar.
That'll cost way too much.
I want to see Joe and Ricochet for the U.S. title. That should be fun.
Okay.
Was it Brian and Rowan against Heavy Machinery? That could be fun. That's new.
I'm just happy.
I'm on board for that. That's interesting.
I'm just happy they're defending the tag titles finally. Well,
they did
TV.
last time.
Well, I mean, that wasn't for the titles.
True.
Brian and Rowan, yeah.
That's right. I mean, Becky Lynch is always fun. That'll be what it is.
Are you down on Lacey Evans? I've seen a lot of people down on Lacey Evans, by the way.
No, I've said this before. I don't have a problem with her.
Okay.
It's coming off a bit forced, and yet when you look at it, it's not. It's just how it is. It just comes off weird. It's not found its smooth groove. That sounds weird.
I see what you're
But
saying.
it just doesn't quite work yet. But it's like she's committed to it and is owning it. Whatever.
Yeah, her character is pretty decent, but a lot of people made shit on her wrestling. I thought her match
She's fine.
against Becky, their last match, I think it was at Showdown, or was it before that? I don't. Either way, their last match.
No, it wasn't Showdown. That's Saudi Arabia.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Yes, I'm an idiot. Goddamn. Yeah, Money in the Bank. It was Money in the Bank. No, I thought their match was good. I thought their match was pretty decent.
Fine.
Yeah.
I honestly, I mean, Kofi and Dolph in a cage. That should be good. That should be really good, honestly.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Peanut? Yeah. You can keep going, Scott. I'll ask him.
I was going to say, and Seth and Corbin, I could care less, but the referee is the most interesting part, which is a telling thing.
Yeah.
And I think what is the New Day against Kevin and Sammy, that should be fun. It should be like, oh, this will be a decent show. And nothing to be like, I got to watch, though.
Yeah,
so,
I can see that. A lot of these matches...
The Cruiserweight Triple Threat is going to be interesting, but yeah.
A lot of these matches just took place at Super Showdown, so...
Yeah.
Peanut, since you kind of been out of the loop, what are your thoughts on Kofi Kingston now is the WWE champion, which you have known that, but Dolph Ziggler came back to challenge him.
I did know that.
Okay.
Actually.
Well, he came back to challenge him at Super Showdown. Kingston won, a little bit shady. Xavier Woods got involved, but now they're facing each other in a steel cage.
Well, and the whole gimmick is it should have been May. I had the story you had, and I should have had this shot.
It sounds like it'll be a phenomenal match.
Yeah.
But knowing WWE, it'll be kind of in the middle of the pay-per-view at a weird spot. It'll only get about 12 minutes or so. It'll be rushed, and then it'll get lost in the content.
Here's a funny question. I'm going to ask you too, Lee.
With this being such a weird pay-per-view that I don't really know what they're building towards, it feels like maybe it'll be one of those weird stand out, like not match of the year, but at the end of the year, you'll remember it kind of thing. It could be that potential.
Well, it sounds like you need to hop over to jobberradio.com and make your predictions for the Jobber Radio Prediction League.
Heck yeah.
That's what it sounds like. I think, here's my question for you guys. What the fuck's going to main event? I'm looking at this card. Obviously, the two title matches, the Universal title, the WWE title, you assume those would main event, but neither one of those matches have this main event feel. Even the cage match, even you got, cage matches, traditionally would main event stuff, but I don't see any match jumping out as, well, that's the obvious
Who's Randy Orton fighting?
He's not.
Anybody?
He's not on the card.
Okay, that would be a go-to for them.
No, I mean...
Roman and Drew.
Oh,
that would be death.
Would that, though? Would that main event?
Yeah,
Shane's involved.
that would. That exactly would.
I could see it.
I mean... I
don't want to,
for
but...
Backlash?
I do remember Backlash with Joe but at least that was Joe. I mean, not saying Joe's better than Drew, but I don't know.
No, that's going to main event. I'm going to put money on that, and I haven't seen a thing. So
I don't think that's... I mean, I may be wrong, but I don't think that's main event. I think it's going to be Rollins and Corbin.
That should be a question for the JRPL production.
I should have done that, yeah. I think it's going to be Rollins and Corbin, and I know people are going to freak the fuck out because Corbin's going to be the main event, but...
No, it'll be Lesnar.
I think it's going to be it's going to be like a big name as that special ref that's going to
that makes sense actually. Why they would have the special guests to kind of beef it up.
So
it'll be Chris Jericho.
Get out of here, Lee. What are your? Is there anything jumping out to you that you may not have been following, but when you looked at the card, is there anything jumping out that looks like it would interest you?
I imagine Kofi and Ziggler at least is going to be decent on paper. I am slightly interested in Rowan and Bryan versus heavy whatever the fuck those clowns are.
Machinery, yeah.
That might be all right, but I generally don't care. I'm more interested in watching Tom Lawler and the Von Erichs versus Contra Unit.
Oh my God, by the way, I can't believe you just brought that up. The other day, somebody joined the JRPL and picked Kerry Von Erich, a.k.a. Texas Tornado, as their pick base, right?
Nice.
So I had a hard time finding like images to, use for this person because it's, back in the day where it's hard to find stuff. So I loaded up the network and I just typed in Kerry Von Erich and I was trying to find some more matches to screenshot something that looked presentable, and I was going to cut it out and use that image as their
one of the promo pics they might have used even works.
Yeah.
For that. Yeah.
So I found some random match. I can't even tell you who he was fighting. It was a tag match. He was teaming with somebody, probably another Von Erich. But he came down to the ring. I shit you not, guys. Seeing this was jarring in today's day and age. He came down to the ring. Women would run up to him, and he would just stop and kiss them in the middle of it during his entrance. Random women and girls would come up to him.
That is unheard of.
And he would stop and kiss
come
them.
on. We need a Von Erich safe space. Come on.
No, they were rock stars in Dallas.
I mean, it was just because, today's day and age. When I saw that, I just it was this weird, whoa, oh my God, what did I just see?
Yeah,
Well,
the
it
Von
happened-
Erichs made the world stop in Texas.
Yeah. Rock and Roll Express got the same treatment, man.
I know, but it was just, it was just jarring to see something like that.
If you grew up watching WWE, you never saw stuff like that. Like the Rockers would go near the girls at the side of the entrance. That's about it. Nothing like this. Yeah.
Oh man, no, and one of them was a little bit extended kiss there, but.
Oh yeah, the Von Erich boys, they were pounding rats every fucking night, man.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't recall the actual match for people to look it up, but I'm sure you can probably look up several of his matches, and it's probably
you just look up Von Erich's anything and see them come to the crowd, and you got chicks throwing their wet panties out.
Yeah, they're coming to the crowd, all right.
Oh, geez, there it is.
Oh.
Yeah. As far as what I'm excited for the show this weekend, if I'm looking at the card, bias reasons, I want to see Drew Gulak win the title. I don't know if he will, but I want to see Drew Gulak on the show. I hope he's not on the kickoff. They may have already announced that or not, but I'm not sure. Other than that, though, guys, I mean, it's just one of those cards. Those are usually the ones that turn out to be best actual shows.
True.
The ones that aren't good on paper. The ones that are on paper don't live up. But this is one that on paper, man, I am not hyped almost at all for this show. It just feels really weak. I'm sure the matches are going to be good. Like I said, I'm sure it's going to be a good show, but nothing's jumping out. Both title matches seem very predictable. Why the fuck would Corbin win? Why the fuck would Ziggler win? Obviously. But I actually heard some rumors that WWE is going to shake a lot of, not, shake up stuff, but they're going to throw a lot of curveballs into this show. Because they're trying to
nervous.
Yeah, they're trying to do ratings and stuff, trying to get their ratings up. They've been a little sour. And some people in there
because they fear AEW, man.
God,
Fear them.
Jesus. And some people in the Discord wanted us to talk about how the show is not selling very well. The arena is not selling very well, and you can get tickets.
I think it's the location. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. It is
Part of
in
it.
Tacoma. But
It's a very oddly promoted pay-per-view as well.
Yeah,
It is like a why is this a show kind of show. It's just it's
Especially it's
June.
that thing that happened last time when they had the Australia show and the previous Saudi show. It's it just throws off their rhythm when they have these weird shows.
I think that's also what's really screwing this up. The feel wise is because we just had a pay-per-view like a week and a half ago or whatever it was, and it just feels like, wait, what the fuck? A lot of these matches are the same. We just watched a lot of these matches. There's some stipulations thrown in, but
too many shows. Your roster is, well, it's not small, but I mean the guys the guys you put on are overexposed all the time. You put on the same guys, same matches, and it's like people need a breather, man. It's like you just burn people out. It's like, why should I watch this show? How is this any different than any other B show that they give us, every month? So it's like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah, I think this is really showing man, AJ Styles. I don't. Is he hurt? I guess he's not. Is he hurt?
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah, this really shows, man, they really need him back at some point. It seems like I'm looking at this card and there's just not much star power. You got Roman, you got Seth Rollins, and I feel like you got Becky. The rest of the card is, not terrible, but nothing's jumping out as huge. Even Daniel Bryan right now is playing a more minimal role in a tag team match, which I do love their promos they've been cutting backstage. Daniel Bryan cut a fucking amazing one about how they're going to make the titles worth something again. By the way, he was wrong. They're not. It's not his fault. Not his fault, by the way.
No, but you got to say that. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Great promo, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, you're not doing shit with those belts. But again, not his fault. But yeah, as far as predictions go, it looks very obvious to me I mean, it looks like everybody's going to retain their title. I don't see Ricochet winning the title. I mean, they just did some stupid shit with giving it to Ray, and then Ray's hurt, and then giving it back to Samoa Joe without even fighting for it. Bayley, I feel like she's definitely not going to drop the belt to Bliss out of nowhere. Lacey Evans, maybe. Heavy Machinery, no. Cruiserweight title, hopefully. Dear Lord, please fucking Drew Gulak win that belt. But it just seems like a very predictable show to me as I'm looking at it on paper. I'm not very hyped. I don't know. I don't want to be negative, but that's just the overall feeling I'm getting for the show, just being honest. But
yeah, I predict I'm not going to watch a lot of it.
Yeah, oh, boom! Thank you. I actually have not worked out the details yet. I was going to talk to Jess about this, but I am planning on. I'm going to try to stream the pre-show like I did for Super Showdown. So anybody that's listening, if you guys want to come hang out, talk about some stuff, talk about what's going on. Since it's on, YouTube, I can just click on the YouTube link and watch it. No big deal, right? And yeah, I just want to throw that out there for the pre-show. If you guys want to come and hang out and chat on Twitch, just search Jobber Radio, and
there you go.
I plan on doing the pre-show, so come hang out and watch that. But other than that, I'm ready to get out of here, guys. You guys got any final words, any last things you want to bring up before we head out of here?
I think we covered everything that would be of interest.
I was going to mention something funny.
God damn it, Peanut. What's up, Scott?
Go ahead, Scott.
Oh, sorry, I was going to mention something funny for AEW for their Fighter Fest. How it's free to watch for Americans on that Bleacher Report.
Yeah, damn
live.
right. We're getting even with you guys now.
Yeah, it's $9.99 on Fight for Canada.
Yep.
So
Ooh.
I don't know if it's going to be free, quote unquote, because sometimes we Canadians get lucky and you're included. I doubt it for this one. So $10 for the Canadians on.
It's going to be free for me,
Fight.
pal.
There you go.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I'll actually be able to watch it now that it's. I'm not gonna. Well, I was gonna watch it either way, but I wasn't gonna.
You still have to watch it on Bleacher Report.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna be paying no $50 though. I promise you that.
I didn't even know that was a real event. I thought it was just like a Comic-Con thing.
It's
It's not a real event. It's just a streaming show. That
It's an interesting thing. I don't know how to describe it. It's something new and different. I'll say that. So I'll give them that. They're at a fighting game tournament.
That's what. It just felt weird. Felt very indie. Didn't feel big, but could be fun.
Peanut, you're one of the more well-loved characters on the show. If you keep saying shit like that, you're going to be the most hated. So people are going to despise you.
I love AEW.
There you go.
They're going to take over the universe and probably get voted into the office as a company, the first ever company to hold the presidential office.
There you go. Now you're back on their good side. All right. Lee, you got anything else? You ready to get the hell out of here?
No, we've given our valued friends enough.
There it is.
They got to pay for the rest of it. Let's get out of here.
That's true. All right, guys. We will see you on the next episode. 2 weeks, guys. Bi-weekly. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.